Hello, everybody. I'm Father Christopher Tiano. I'm pastor of St. Paul VI Parish, and I want to welcome you all to our videocast today. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. St. Paul VI Parish is a community of believers in Jesus Christ who are united in our commitment to worship, evangelize, and give. We welcome all people to join our vision to be a light in the darkness, and this is the Light in the Darkness, our weekly video cast where we talk about our parish. And this episode, I have John Spilka, Ann Bedurtha, and Beth Smith, 3 of the 9 members of our leadership team of our parish. And this has been a very difficult episode to put together because we want to talk about so much. There's so much to talk about. First, we want to talk about our parish because there's great things going on in our parish every single day. We want to talk about our leadership team who have birthed so many different of our activities and ministries of our parish. We want to talk about divine renovation, and we want to keep it all short. We certainly can't do a half-hour, 40-minute podcast, but we can talk about it today. Let's talk about divine renovation, okay? So, Divine Renovation is the renewal program that our parish embraces. It was founded by Father James Mallon, a priest of the Archdiocese of Halifax, Nova Scotia, and it's a way of looking at parish leadership in a very revolutionary way. He talks about the primacy of the Holy Spirit. He talks about the importance of evangelization, and he talks about leadership and identifying good leadership. So all of us have read his book, and all of us have taken training in divine renovation. So tell me, Anne, how divine renovation has affected you in your life in our parish community.
Well, it's given me the chance to be on the leadership team and work behind the scenes to help guide the parish. To help look for ways to make improvements, to help bring people together. We were a parish of many different churches, and now we're all one. And it's just been a wonderful way to meet more people who I normally would not have come and have met.
It's great stuff. Now, John is our divine renovation whisperer. He's not just read the book, he's digested the book, and he's produced an outline of the book. So tell me about your experience with divine renovation in our parish community.
Well, when I was taking Alpha, and I was one of those people that was doing it because my wife said, why don't we do it? And so I said, okay. And after the third one, series, I was hooked, and one of the leaders in my group suggested I read Divine Renovation. I said, okay, and so I read the book, and it was an Emmaus moment for me. My eyes were opened, and I said, oh my gosh, there's so much more we should be doing as lay people for our parish, as evangelizers, as disciples, and so it energized me, and it stimulated, I would say, the Holy Spirit in me to get involved. And I found myself involved with about 6 different ministries within the parish. And when you asked me to be on the leadership team, I was excited to do that so that I could share with other people in our parish what divine renovation is and the calling that they all have to use their gifts to serve, to minister. And I came to the understanding that the priests can't do everything, that we are called to support the priests in so many ministries that they don't have time for.
It's good. And our leadership team has birthed, and I like that word, has birthed ministries. I mean, we didn't have a hospitality team, we didn't have a bereavement team, we didn't have a young adult ministry, we didn't have a formal youth ministry. We had youth ministry in the past that was very, very good, but the new parish didn't start youth ministry, and all those ministries have come from discussions that we had. The leadership team aren't managers. We're part and parcel of advising me as pastor, but also as looking at the parish in those three keys that we talk about in Divine Renovation, that we were taught in Divine Renovation, right? The Holy Spirit, the primacy of evangelization, and leadership. Beth, tell me about your experiences in bringing this vision to our parish and how it's changed you.
I think it's changed me in becoming more active and especially forming a sense of community. The leadership team works very hard to be, I would say, a think tank with you and for you about what may be needed and necessary. Some of the things we've done is a Divine Renovation survey that they had to identify the strengths of our parish and some of the needs of our parish. And in talking and being accessible to parishioners, they will let us know really what they're feeling and what their needs are. And then we discuss it around the table when we're meeting and talk about what our next steps are. And we've done some great things. First, bringing the parish together as one. We brought Archbishop Coyne down and had a wonderful dinner with him and thought we were going to have 100 people and had over 300 people. And all the ministries that you mentioned that we started came out of some of the needs that we thought our parish has and have grown immensely and have changed our parish and really given a sense of community to our parish.
We have people praying over each other in our parish.
We do.
You know, we try to greet every single person who walks into our churches every week. I mean, think about that. Think about the commitment that we've done with that. You know, we've tried to answer some really very large needs in our parish, from bereavement to young adults to youth ministry, et cetera, et cetera. And I wish I can take credit for all of it. I can't. I can't. It's because it's happening.
With all of these new ministries, there's been a need to identify leaders for all of them, and that's one of our roles on the leadership team, is to help you identify people to lead these new ministries.
And you know, the secret sauce in our parish for leadership development is, of course, Alpha. You know, I bring up Alpha over and over again. It's become a joke in our parish that, you know, I will work Alpha into conversations. I will, you know, but Alpha changes lives. Alpha changes lives, you know. We all have Alpha stories. We all have stories of people that we met in Alpha that they changed, that they share that change from the pulpit sometimes on film, but that, you know, they're brought to Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ is brought to them. They meet the Holy Spirit, you know? John, you have a friend of yours who met the Holy Spirit.
That's right. She's 89 years old. She took Alpha. And she said, I never knew who the Holy Spirit was. And it moved her to get involved in ministry, in particular the hospitality ministry. She also took Bible study.
Yeah, she came to my Bible study on the Holy Spirit.
And to see the energy, to see the Holy Spirit working in her, it just gives me great joy. But I see that in so many of our parishioners whose lives have changed.
I have a friend, Joan. And Joan is from one of my other parishes. And Joan came to us and did Alpha because they're preparing to do Alpha in her parish, and she would want to learn it. And she came to the reunion for Alpha, and I gave the opening talk about them welcoming people. I don't think I even prepared, and greeted everybody and warmly. And she says, "You didn't talk about the Holy Spirit that much when you were our pastor." And it's just a change. It's just a change that we've experienced. I think we've experienced as a community. And you know, we formed a new community. You know, we all maybe came from other parishes that don't exist anymore, and we formed this new community of St. Paul VI Parish. And I think the leadership team has been a big part of that.
I think it's also important that we all went through Alpha, right? Each one of us took Alpha. Each one of us developed a special relationship with the Holy Spirit. And we begin each leadership team meeting calling on the Holy Spirit to guide us in all that we say and all that we do during our meetings.
Now, some people have asked us, like, what's the difference between the leadership team and the parish council or the finance council or the staff? Those are all very important parts of our parish community. But I think I have a buddy of mine, he's in Texas, and we studied in graduate school together. He's a great priest. And he calls his leadership team the tactical leadership team. I have visions of, this semi-military organization, but he says it's tactical. And I like that because we tend, as a leadership team, we're not looking long term. We're looking at the responses to what we need to do today to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ here in Hamden and beyond. And I think we do a good job. We do. We're not perfect. Well, I'm not perfect. You guys may be perfect.
Not me.
I'm not perfect.
Not me.
I'm just plugging along, trying to do the best I can. When I met with someone from Divine Renovation, and this was like the second month I was here as a pastor, and he was telling me all the wonderful things that were going to happen to us as a Divine Renovation parish. And I called another buddy of mine who's doing Divine Renovation. I said, I don't know what he was talking about. I don't have time to go out and do all these things he wants me to do. He goes, Chris, he wants your parishioners to do that. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Christmas is a great time of year, right? I love my tree again. This tree in my dining room. I thought it looked like a tag sale at first, but this is my tree. The tree belongs to the church. The ornaments are all mine. And we may take some film of the other tree. We do have 2 trees in the house, but I love Christmas. It's a wonderful time of year. But the best part about Christmas is because I get to see so many of my parishioners, and I get to tell them the good news. I get to tell them that they can join our vision to be a light in the darkness. You can join our vision to be a light in the darkness. Come and join us at St. Paul VI Parish. You may run into John at the door greeting you. You may run into Ann at Alpha or Beth greeting you at the door. And you're certainly going to run into me because I'm Father Christopher Tiano and I'm pastor of St. Paul VI Parish. Happy New Year.